Hello everyone, I'm back with another video. Now this was a request from one of my brother Alex. So he wanted me to make this kind of design, or he wanted to know how to make this kind of designs. Now for this kind of designs we need to use some premium vectors, as you can see the soldier vector here. So for this one I was just using this vector pack from FreePic. This is a premium vector and I get this question like if this is allowed to use. Now free pick vectors are, if you are buying them with premium subscription you can use them, but you just cannot take this design and upload this as it is. You can take the elements from it and you can make your own design with them, and then it is always copyright free to use them on print on demand websites. Now for this design I am going to use this text from here. This is just a text from online. Now these are some elements. I am not sure whichever one I will use, but I have some plan in mind, so let's try to do something. Okay, so first step is making a center point like this, a graphic area with the US flag, this style and the soldier graphic in it. So for that I'm going to use this vector pack. As I told you, I just modified them, like I take the parts sorry for that, this one. So this was kind of all together, then I separated them, and I'm just going to use this soldier vector and the flag vector from here. So this is my soldier, and for this flag I want to use this camouflage. This is a army camouflage, you can use them. This is also from FreePic. So for this one I'm going to use this as the flag. Now this is the pattern. If you open the source panel you can see there is a new pattern added. That means it is already a pre-made pattern. So if I select my this group and click here, it is going to replace my flag with that pattern. It is going to take some time because it's a detailed graphic. So this is really easy. When you have a pattern like this you can create one, of course, but that's something other work. So for this kind of design I need to make a center graphic here. So I will take a ellipse first. Now this is always going to follow that previous selection. Now this is in fill mode right now. I'm pressing shift X for converting into a stroke. I want to make it really small in size because for this kind of designs this is going to take a lots of elements here to make a design like this. So I'm placing it something like this, and as you can see this is a huge amount of graphic in it, this flag and this soldier here. So before that I want to just create this flag effect here. So I'm selecting the flag and my ellipse. I can simply align them center wise. I just want to keep the star part of the flag something like in the middle. So this one I need to make sure it is in top. So I'm pressing Ctrl C to copy or Ctrl X to cut. Now I'm pressing, okay, this is going to take some time, pressing Ctrl F to paste in front. Now this is going to paste in front of my flag just like this. Now I'm selecting them, right click, make clipping mask. It is going to make a clipping mask for our flag like this. That is good. Now I am pressing Ctrl F again to paste my ellipse on top of the clipping masked flag just like this. So for this one here, this soldier vector here, I am just going to keep it very simple. For this one here I just want to place him something like this, the same style of our example image, and I don't want it to be make like something very small because there's lots of details in the soldier design, and I want to keep it all. So something like this. If I select it like this I can align them center wise. That is, I don't know if it will look good, maybe. So something like this. Now as you can see the top of the gun is like coming out of the circle, and I want that to keep. So for this area that is going out of the circle here, if I select my soldier vector here, look carefully here, I am pressing Ctrl X to cut it. Now as I make a clipping mask with my flag, if I paste anything inside that group, that will be automatically masked. So if I press double click here, to select my flag vector group that is inside the clipping mask, and if I press Ctrl F here, it is going to paste my soldier in front of it. But you will see that the soldier is being clipping masked because we pasted him inside the clipping mask area, something like this. So I will fix it later, but for now I am just going to select my this soldier vector, Ctrl C to copy, Ctrl B to paste in back. Now that is just pasted in back of that soldier, and if I make it merge unite, it is going to become a complete silhouette shape, a black shape. Okay, sorry for that, it is just lagging my computer because this flag graphic is a tons of details in it, and that is the reason it is looking like that. Okay, so this much is good. Now, okay, I need to do some adjustment here, like this is not making a complete single silhouette shape. So for fixing that, I can simply, I'm deleting that shape. Now if I select my this soldier group here, soldier vector here, I can simply create a offset path for him, just 10 pixel maybe, but I don't know how much it will be big or small. Okay guys, so I make some changes here, like that flag was really too many details on it on that. So that's why I changed the flag and I take something simple kind of flag. Now I'm going to do the modifications for my soldier here. I want a complete black shape of him in the background. So I'm pressing Ctrl C to copy. Now Ctrl B to paste in back. Just same vector in the front and back, same. If I make the back one merge and unite, something like this, it is just going to take some time because this vector is really detailed vector, and there is a lots of small parts and some gradient to make it look like this, like the face scrap. You can see there is a tons of details on it, so that's why it is looking like this. If I make it unite now, it is going to make a complete single shape. Now sometime it may not work because if there is any open part on the vector, that may not. Okay, as you can see, this is looking like this, but here is some problem in this area, that is the vector is not a complete single vector. So I need to Ctrl X to cut it. Now I am going to select my this vector and then maybe lock it, then I am pressing Ctrl F again to paste in front. Now whichever area is not blocking the area, as you can see here, this area is open, so that's why it is the problem here. If I press N for pencil tool, I can draw from this area, something like this, and that is going to hide those parts. Now this is really important for making it a complete black shape. As you can see on this area also, it is not complete black, so that's why I need to draw this, and when our main vector is locked, it is not going to make any changes on that. So something like this, that is good. This is just going to take some time for me to do this, and you can always skip this part. So something like this. This is really a lots of work, and if you want to make a perfect design, then you need to follow these steps, because without making him complete black, we cannot complete this design. Something like this. Yeah, that is good. Now we have a complete black shape, not a single black shape, some multiple shapes. We can select all of it, like I can unite them, it becomes a one single shape. Now this shape I want to make it white, and I want to press Ctrl X to cut it. Now I am unlocking this layer, this vector layer, and then if I press Ctrl B, it is going to paste in back, and as you can see, now my vector is visible on top of my flag, just like this. Or if I want to do it, take it to the another level, I can just simply select my this that background layer shape, the white shape that we created. We can create an offset path for it. This time 10 pixel is a bit bigger, because I am working in a smaller size, maybe something like this, 2 pixel. Now Ctrl X to cut it. Now if I select my this flag vector, I can open the transparency for it and press Ctrl F to paste in front. That white shape is pasted in front, but it is not visible because inside the transparency we need to make it black. So something like this, and when it is black, you can see it is looking like this. It is creating that cutout effect, and that's what we wanted. So this much is good for us right now. Our main graphic part is created. Now we want to just create that ribbon kind of feel. Sorry, not ribbon, that. Okay, so I am creating a shape here, a ellipse here, but I need to make it in white, sorry, black, something like this maybe. Then if I press Shift M for my shape builder, I can erase this two part. I just have these two shape here. Sorry, this is a single shape. Now if I rotate this one, then right click, transform, reflect, and copy, something like this. That is good. I'm aligning them on the top. I need to make it a group here, so Ctrl G for group. I'm bringing on copy down. Now I can press Ctrl D. Keep pressing Ctrl D until you get some copies here. We don't want to make a like a pattern brush here. We will make a art brush here. So I am just aligning it together. Now for this area here, I want to select on of it. So let's copy that, paste it here, something like this. Then again rotate and press it something like this. That is good. Now I need to make sure that it is not bigger than the circle here. So something like in this size will work for us, or a bit bigger in size, longer in size. So if I just bring a copy here, then press Ctrl D a couple more times, something like this. That is good. So this much will work for us because I want to arc it with the ellipse here. So that's why I am making it bigger. Now for this option, it is good if I rotate like this. Now I can simply create a brush here from the brush panel, create a new brush, art brush. Okay, now if we just create a pattern brush here, it will just follow the total area with this shape, but I want to create two separate shape. So I am selecting this black ellipse that we pasted on top. Ctrl C, Ctrl F to paste and copy and paste in front again. Then I have a copy here, something like this. Now if I simply just press A for my direct selection tool, I can select this anchor point and erase it, delete. So that is good. Now for this one here, I don't want it to cover the total area, so if I press Shift E for eraser tool, I can erase some part of the ellipse, something like this. Yeah, that much is good. And now if I select this shape, I can click here. It is going to fill it with that shape, and that's why we created a longer shape. If I just created a pattern brush, it will fill the entire area. And you can try with also pattern brush, that is good, but I thought here the art brush will work great, something like this. Now of course not too close, something like this. Selecting that two brush and then aligning them center wise, that is good. Now if I make them a group, I am selecting everything here and then Shift click here to deselect the brush. Now everything inside this is selected, making them a group. Now as they are ellipse shape, if I select everything like this and then if I centerize them horizontal and vertical, it is going to place in the exact center position. So that is good. Now as you can see that graphic part is created, but there's a lots of work we need to do yet. That is creating some, this design is not looking very good right now, but trust me, if you know my work, it will look good. So I'm going to use a ribbon here, something like this. But for this ribbon here, I'm going to make it smaller, kind of this much. Here I'm using the text here, as you can see, thank you for your service, land of the free, home of the brave. So this is going to be my, and then I will maybe use another word, that is US veteran. I'm not sure. So this service is the focus text of us and the brave is the focus text of us, or we can make the US veteran our focus text. We will see that later. So for this service I'm going to use here a font called Ball Bear Rustic. This is a good bold kind of font with some texture on it, as you can see. Okay, so this is my first focus text. Now for this one here, thank you for your, this is I'm going to use my regular Explorer font. I get a lots of comment like how to get Explorer font. If you don't have it, you can Google it, and yet if you don't find it, you can join our Facebook group for that font. I have shared that. So this line I created for the text here, maybe like this, I'm not sure. Okay, let's just use it. For this text I'm going to press Ctrl X. Now if I select this line here, that line is not perfectly placed, so let me do it again, because I don't want that single text to destroy my design. Something like this maybe, or I can just modify this corner. Okay, that much is good. Now when this path is selected, I'm taking my type on path tool, and then if I click here, I can press Ctrl V. That text will be pasted here. Now something like this it is looking. Maybe I will use here Norwester font, because that font is a bit bigger than Explorer, and this ribbon is kind of okay. That text is a bit bigger here, so let's use our Explorer serif font. Okay, I get another idea here, that is I'm going to make this area with that thank you text only, so I can place it in bigger size, something like this. Then thank you for your, this for your I'm going to place here. Here is some space here, so I can use that space, maybe a bit bigger in size. Okay, this is just going to take some time for me to place them perfectly. I'm just keeping it as it is for now. I will fix it later. Something like this, that is good. Thank you for your. Now service part is done. I am going to use another breaking point here to add my this text. Now this area is looking like an open area. I can simply do something like this, a circle in here, but I don't want to copy their style. I am already copying their theme. So for this one here, I have a plan to use another ribbon for that area, something like this, as you can see. But this ribbon I don't think it is going to fit. There is a problem that this direction is good, but this direction is going inside my graphic area. Okay, let's do something else. Have you ever seen anyone modifying a ribbon? So I am selecting this one, pressing shift E. Now if I erase the half here, I can simply right click, transform and reflect, copy. So I have a copy of that like this, as you can see. Now my ribbon is in the same direction, both side is in the same direction, so that is good for me. I can make it a bit bigger because my text is bigger. Now if I select my direct selection tool to select that part, I can bring that like this, then maybe this part, bring it together. I can simply select all of it, pressing shift if M for shape builder tool, because I don't want this part, that is like the extra part that is looking like it is a, there is joint here, so that's why I'm erasing this part. Maybe I am talking too much today, but this is a really hard kind of design. Okay, I just united them to keep in the same place. This one, this ribbon also I can unite. There is some opposite thing here that will be gone, so if I select this one and then make it same size wide as my that upper ribbon. So that much is good. Now as you can see, it is okay. This is too much bigger. I'm just making it smaller. Now if I select my this text here, everything like this, I can align them center wise for now. That is good. This land of the free, I am going to pick my eyedropper to pick that font. Now for this one here, I am going to make it a bit smaller, just like this. Then maybe why I am not using my stencil font, because army designs always look good with this stencil fonts. That's the army category font. So I need to select my ribbon here. Now if I go to object path, offset path, and make offset path 2 pixel or maybe a bit bigger, 3 pixel. That's good. Control X to cut it. Now we make them a group. This designs a group. So if I open that transparency like this and then press Control F, it is going to paste in front here. Now I need to merge unite. That will make it a complete single shape. Okay, and I am going to copy this one. Then again I need to select my this two graphic here. I don't know what that calls, so I'm pressing shift M, shift sorry, Control F again to paste in front, and that's how that is under my ribbon. And it is looking like this. Maybe it is looking a bit more professional than before. Something like this. I'm going to just keep it as it is, or maybe I can simply go to effect, wrap and arc, but maybe just 10%, and that is too much. Just a bit, 5%. This is not really necessary, but I just want to follow the curve of the ribbon here. Okay, so that much is good. Now here I am going to create that same effect here. Okay, for your home of the, I am going to use it here in this direction, maybe a bit smaller so that it fits inside the ribbon area, the gap of the ribbon, something like this. That is good. This brave, it is a focus text here, so I'm going to use my that Bolvier font, home of the brave, something like this. Yeah, that is good. Now this part is done. We can just add another part, that is US veteran. That will be a long design, but that is good. Let's just use our stencil font here. That's good. Now this part is really looking good to me, but this part is not. So let's do something for that area. I'm just keeping it here. These I don't need them to act like a font anymore, so let's break them, expand the appearance because we applied some effect on it, something like this, maybe a bit closer to my that font and a bit bigger, something like this. Home of the brave. Now I want here a breaking point, so I'm selecting my pen tool. Now if I click here and then here, okay, so erasing that, I need to make sure that my design is same wide in the both directions. So that's why I need to align it with my ribbon here, because the ribbon is the, okay, again I am erasing it, not the ribbon. This is the wide of my design. This is the wide of the this graphic here. So if I take my pen tool, I can align the wide of it, something like this, and that is the right size for me. This is in fill color. If I press shift X, I can make it to convert it into a stroke. Now maybe a copy here, just like this. Now that part is done. When we are applying some effect on anything, like if I select my this text here, that is overlapping with the ribbon here, so let's fix that part first, something like this, or a bit bigger. That's good. Control X to cut it, selecting my ribbon, opening the transparency, press Ctrl F to paste in front. Now this part is making some problem, so let's press N for my pencil tool and draw a shape like that. That is good. Or maybe just we can select our this text here, make it a bit stress a bit down. I hate this, but sometime it helps to fill the area. Yeah, that much is good. Now if I select my this ribbon again, I can go inside the transparency, then with my pencil tool I can draw some shapes here, because these design details are really not important, so I can hide them to make my text completely readable. So this text, this ribbon, this graphic and this group, this is the main graphic part of the design. So let's make them a group. Now if I select everything from here, I can align them center-wise just like this. So that is good. Now for this one here, this service world here, if I just break the text something like this, that is good. I can align them. I'm just making sure everything is the same size white, something like this. That much is good. Maybe a bit overlapping here. So for this one here, thank you for your, okay, let's just make it simple. I don't want to do that. Thank you for your copy. I'm just going to use it as a single text here. Maybe this one, right click, recent font and then stencil and something like this. Now I am going to break it. That is good. Now as you can see here is it is overlapping with my service text. I can do a effect here, like if I copy this one here, then I can simply make a breaker here, something like this. That is good. Now I am going to select everything from here, align them center wise. That's also good. Maybe just select it, bring it to get closer. So for this area here, sorry for that, I want this part here, this service I am going to make the focus text. And now if I select these three, I can align them, of course, then I can distribute the space of them just like this. Then let's make them a group. Now for this one here, I want to take it a bit up, because that part here that is overlapping, I want it to overlap with my this line here, not my text. So I'm selecting this graphic group here. Then if I just go to object, path and then offset path, then not that much, yeah, this much is good. Press OK, Ctrl X to cut it. Now if I select my this group here, open the transparency, press Ctrl F to paste in front, something like this. And that is done for this part here. Now this is the main design for my this video. I can simply make everything a group here, something like this. Okay, before that, this part is looking a bit straight, but my this part is a bit curvy here. So if I select this one here, this group, go to wrap and then arc lower, maybe, yeah, something like this, bring that down, that much is good. Now if I break the expand the appearance, I can place it like this. I'm aligning them center just like this. That is good. Now this part is not looking very good for me, because that service text is really bigger. So let's do something for that. I'm going to bring my ruler here, because I want to make it perfect. Then another copy here. This service and this brave, I want them to be same size bigger, and that will give it a similar feel, something like this. That is good. Let's go to effect, wrap and then arc upper this time. and in this minus direction. That is good. Let's press OK. Something like this, a bit bigger. Then I can expand the appearance. Okay, so this is just to, I was trying to make it look similar, but that is a bad idea. But yeah, this brave text in bigger is a good idea. You need to do some research, like do some experiment with the design, and that if I select these three, I can distribute the space between them, then make them a group so that I don't lose their position, something like this. So that is good. Now if I select my this group here, go to object, path, and then offset path. Okay, let's keep our ribbon on top. So I am going to select my ribbon, then go to object, path, and then offset path. Create a offset path, just a bit bigger. Okay, that much is good. Let's Ctrl X to cut it. Now I am selecting my this brave text and this group. Open transparency, paste in front. So my ribbon is now on top of it. So that is looking good here, but here we destroyed the effect. So let's select this ribbon group again, go to object, path, and then offset path. Create a offset path, cut it. Now I am selecting this group here, and inside the transparency, whatever we pasted, that is destroyed. So let's delete that. Press Ctrl F to paste in front. So it is going to look like this, and this is how my design is finalized. This is going to be the final design for me. I don't need those. Now this is my design, and that is that design. I of course not tried to, I was not trying to copy them, but this idea I take from them because it was a request to show. So that's how you can make that kind of designs. Now this is a really detailed vector work, so you need to, like, you need to be familiar with the Illustrator to make this kind of designs. Now let's add some colors to it. Let's just make it a, okay, there is some strokes. So I'm selecting everything. I'm going to expand it. It's going to expand it, everything here. Now if I select them again, I'm going to expand again because we applied some pattern effect also in it, and just keep expanding a couple more times because sometimes it takes a bit time. So it is going to look like this right now. Now for this pattern effect, it is not breaking like the way we wanted it to break, so that is good. Let's just add some colors. So I'm going to make it a darker gray kind of color, maybe this one. So everything here in black we are going to convert into this color. That is good, but for this area, this text I'm going to make it black like this. Now if I, okay, sorry for that, if I can just, if I just take my magic wand tool and click on this black of it, any one of the that is in black, it is just selecting the pattern part also, the camouflage, there was some black in that, so we can simply change it. It is going to convert into one color design, just like this. Let's see how it is looking. I'm taking a black rectangle, Ctrl X, Ctrl B to paste, cut paste in back. Okay, sorry for that. So it is just, I'm inside that group here, so I'm cutting this again. Now I'm pressing Ctrl B. It is going to paste back of in the back of everything here. So something like this. Now I need to do some changes here. Like if I select this ribbon group, I can pick my eyedropper to select that color. That is good. If I select this ribbon here with eyedropper, I can make it that color. So that is good. Now as you can see here, we pasted the ellipse on top of my design. So if I click here, that group is selecting, I need to double click to select it, something like this. Now picking eyedropper to select that color, and for this vector here, so the vector is I'm going to keep it as it is, but for this one here, whatever we pasted in the background shape of it, you can see the white shape is selecting. If I take my eyedropper and click here, it is going to, okay, sorry for that, it is going to take that. I need to click on this color. Okay, there is the camouflage in the background, so it is selecting that camouflage. If I make this color easily, that is good. Okay guys, so as you can see, this is how it is looking right now. Now if I make it smaller in size, it will be hard to see what we have done, but this is a really high quality design. You can do, we can make this kind of designs like this. So I am just taking a copy here just to show you the amount of details in it, and it will be good for printing because we are just using some similar kind of colors, the gray color for everything, and the camouflage, yes, that is also good. Okay guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope you will learn something new from this one, especially brother Alex, you helped me a lot. So this one is for you. I hope you learn how to do this kind of designs. So that's it guys, see you in the next video guys. Have a great time. Thank you everyone, thank you for subscribing me. Have a great time. Thank you.